right, welcome back to Coach's Corner. I've got our athletic director here, Peter Collins, who just turned 44 the other day. He's so much younger, looks so much younger than he is, folks. But
No, you had it right the first time. I'm so much younger than I look.
No. I think I have it right. Yeah.
Okay.
But we've got some things happening here in the world of athletics. Numbers for COVID are spiking, and we have to respond. So you and you had a meeting of the minds. The WIAA met, and then the exec board meets, and then all the athletic directors meet, and you guys came up with a new plan for us coaches and student athletes. Could you give us kind of a heads up on what that is?
Yeah, so before this week, we were scheduled to start winter sports on December 28th. And that was going to be our standard winter sports grouping of sports, and then go till middle of February, and then fall sports were going to start, and then spring sports after that. But it didn't look like, kind of looking ahead a little bit, and with the spike in cases happening pretty much everywhere across the state, the chances of us actually being able to start something on December 28th looked pretty low. And so the state, the WIAA, decided to delay the start of sports. And the one nice thing is they decided to keep 3 sports seasons. And so now the winter sports are scheduled to start on February 1st. But we're still doing 3 sports seasons, but they just shrank the sports seasons a little bit. So we're still going to do 3 sports seasons. Winter sports start on February 1st. Fall sports are going to start on March 15th. And then spring sports are going to start on April 26th. We're going to start over because you're muted.
No, I'm not muted. I am going to start over now. But all right, that's fantastic. Thank you. And it's even better because we have a new friend joining us, the current head coach of the Graham Kapowsin Eagle basketball team, Emmanuel Richardson.
Hey, what's happening?
How we doing?
What up?
Kind of got lost there. You got me?
Welcome.
I've been out celebrating, guys. I've been being a celebrity for today. So.
Okay.
Yeah, I saw there was a nice article on Scorebook Live posted yesterday. Sounded good. Looks good.
Rogers is first game of the year. I just saw the schedule.
It's exciting times. These halls will be quiet.
Is that where I'm supposed to start talking trash now? Is that where I'm supposed to start?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, the hope is that we are able to talk trash. So, Connie, we just Coach Pete over here just gave us a breakdown on what the new plan is, the 3 schedule breakdown. But he's going to now look into when each sport specifically gets to play, because I know you as a basketball coach, myself as a wrestling coach, I'm chomping at the bit to get back to competition. So right. Give us what's happening, Pete.
Yeah, so on February 1st, that's the start of winter sports season. So that's boys and girls basketball, boys and girls wrestling, girls bowling, gymnastics, and boys swimming. And so the one little tweak of that is gymnastics does get to start a week earlier on January 25th. They have a few more required practices than the other sports, and so they start a week earlier. So gymnastics on January 25th, but then everything else on February 1st. Do you want me to go into the rest of the seasons, or?
Yeah, please.
Yeah, okay. So then on March 15th, that's when fall sports start. Again, with a little tweak that football, because they have more required practices, they're starting a week earlier on March 8th. So football starts March 8th, but then the rest of the fall sports start on March 15th. That's boys and girls cross country, girls soccer, boys tennis, girls swimming, boys water polo, volleyball, boys and girls golf. So they all start on March 15th. And then on March 26th, that's when the traditional spring sports start. That's baseball, fast pitch, boys soccer, girls tennis, boys and girls track, and girls water polo.
Okay. So we have a little bit of time, but not a crazy amount of time. I mean, it's less time to get there than it is to have gotten here, which is kind of nice to think about. But what are we allowed to do? I mean, we just kind of kicked off this fall training period, and now numbers have changed and expectations have changed. What are we allowed to continue to do as coaches?
Yeah, so this week the governor announced new restrictions on indoor training sessions. So the teams that practice indoors, that's primarily basketball, volleyball, and wrestling, they're now prohibited from meeting indoors. The one exception is the aquatic sports. The aquatic sports are still allowed to meet in the pool, so swimming teams and the water polo teams can still meet. But in terms of indoor practices, we're putting a hold on that right now. Now, right now, he announced it for 1 month at a time. So that goes through December 14th, as we're kind of pausing on those indoor things, and then they'll reevaluate it on December 14th. So really where we're at right now, what can we do now? We can practice outside. The low and moderate risk sports can practice outside. High risk sports can practice outside as long as they are in pods of 6. Low and moderate risk sports, they don't need to be in pods of 6 right now. They can be grouped together, but the high risk sports, they do need to be in pods of 6. But everybody has to wear a mask the whole time, whether you're a low risk, moderate risk, or high risk, you have to be wearing a mask the whole time. So yeah, that means running cross country with a mask on, and playing soccer with a mask on, and if you in a pod of 6 football team going out running a route, you've got a mask on while you're running a route. It's not just before and after practice anymore. You have to be wearing a mask the entire time.
Now, you gave us that month-to-month breakdown, which is kind of nice. We at least know how to plan for this next 4 weeks. But what do you think the likelihood is that things shift again before the season is to begin?
Well, I think the chances are probably pretty good that we're going to stay in this kind of modified no indoor sports into January. I think they're going to be reevaluating things in January. Like I said, February 1st is when we're supposed to be starting things. They're going to be looking at stuff middle of January to try and see where we're at, if we can start getting together indoors again. The fall coaching period, the other little shift this week is the fall coaching period did extend now until January 23rd. It was supposed to end on December 18th, but now they pushed that into January 23rd. So teams, you can still be working with your teams practice-wise up until January 23rd now. And then probably right around then is when they're going to be reevaluating to see whether we can actually, take off with the indoor sports on February 1st.
I know. Well, thanks, Pete. You gave us a quick simplified version of what we can and cannot do. Connie, it sounds like you got your schedule. I can't wait to get mine. It'll be exciting times. But back to this Rogers versus GK basketball game, gentlemen. What do we got going on? What is happening here? They're doing.
Give us a scouting report, Coach.
Yeah, give us the breakdown.
Rogers is very young, and GK is young too with coaches, with the new staff. We play on February 11th. That's when the date is. We circled the date, and we're here. Graham Capals and Eagles will be coming to play the Rogers Rams on February 11th at 7 o'clock right here at the old John Rogers.
Does Pete have you working security that night?
No, I have my keys in my own locker room, so I'll know how to get in it.
Okay.
There we go. And then other question, do either teams have one of the, you had that kid from Bellarmine drafted last night in the first round, right? Do either teams have a future draftee?
It's too early to say what we have yet.
They're young. Too early to say.
So.
All right, guys. Connie, you got any questions for Pete up here or any comments?
No, I don't.
Fair enough.
I do have another comment I'd like to make here, Coach, if I could.
Yeah.
The one, this is pretty technical and specific to only a few kids, but I just want to get this message out there that when I was clearing kids for the fall coaching period and I was looking at expiration dates of physicals, I was basing those, your clearance for certain sports based on the dates of the seasons originally. But now that the dates of the seasons have changed a little bit, if there are probably going to be a few kids who were originally going to be cleared for a sport, but now they won't be cleared because their physical expires during that season. So I guess just a public service announcement for those of you that have been cleared for the fall coaching period. Please don't make the assumption that you're 100% cleared for the seasons as they get going. Please check in with me as they get closer to make sure that your physical does last through the entire season. So you can actually be out there the first day of practice.
Right on. And with that limited schedule, every day of practice is going to be even more important than it usually is. So,
yeah.
Right on. Thank you very much. Appreciate you guys joining me, and fight on.
Right on.
Peace.